Hey there, Jordan from Vanco here. I want to introduce you to an exciting image generation tool. All you need to do is provide a text prompt, and the tool will generate an image based on your input. It is a fantastic way to create custom graphics for your church's social media, bulletins, or website without needing any design skills. And the best part, it's free. All you need is a Google account to get started. If you have a Gmail account, you already have all the necessary prerequisites. If not, just sign up for a free account with Google. It only takes a few minutes. Once you have your Gmail account, you'll be all set to join us on this easy process of building cool, original images that require zero design skills. Let's dive in. Before we dive into creating images, it's important to understand a few ground rules and limitations. While this tool is incredibly powerful, it can sometimes struggle with certain aspects of image generation, just like any other AI-based system. One common challenge is generating realistic hands. If you include too many people or close-up shots of hands in your prompts, the results might not always be perfect. Keep in mind that this tool is the best free option we've found, but it may still have some limitations compared to paid alternatives. However, it compares pretty well to the paid options. In some cases, you might find that the image generated isn't quite perfect. Don't worry. You can always use image editing software to crop or adjust the image to better suit your needs. I frequently use Microsoft Paint to crop out the funky part of an image. The key is to experiment with different prompts and see what works best for your specific goals. With these ground rules in mind, let's start exploring how you can use Stable Diffusion to create stunning visuals for your church. First, we are going to Fooocus AI in GitHub, and I will include the link in the description. If you're not familiar with GitHub, it is a place where developers can share their code. One developer built a code that runs a free Stable Diffusion software. To access the code, this is a long page. You just need to scroll down. This is just a demonstration of what someone was able to create with the Stable Diffusion software. Scroll down until you see Open in CoLab. Google CoLab is a tool that will run processes and codes for you. You don't have to have any knowledge of coding or anything like that to work it. I myself don't. All you have to do is hit the play button. And once you do, you will get the code to process. You just have to wait for about maybe 5, sometimes 10 minutes, depending on your internet connection. Then you will get something like this. You just scroll down until you can find a radio link. You don't have to worry about any of the rest of it. It does look complicated, but to use this for free, this is kind of how you have to do it. Once you click on the link, you will be taken to a tool like this, and it's pretty simple. You just enter your text into here and hit generate. There are different options here. You can include an image input. So let's say you want to have an image of your pastor somewhere else doing something. You can input an image of the pastor, and it will generate a version of that pastor doing X or Y activity in X or Y location. If you are using that, though, please make sure you get permission to do it. The one thing that's nice about Stable Diffusion software, if you're making generalized prompts, the images are generally free to use in any capacity. You don't have to worry about royalty-free and things of that sort. However, if you do use the input image, you will need to clear it with the original subject of the image or the original creator of the image. I'm not going to hit input image here. I'm just going to create it in the general text prompt. If you do want to also get into the advanced options, you can change the image size. I usually like to pick 2 to 5 images to generate. I notice if you add too many images or too few images, it doesn't always work. Too many will overstress the program. Google only has so many free resources it can give, so the system might crash if you try to do too much with it. Generally, 2 to 5 images is good enough. For this, I entered create a wooden cross on a hill, show a sunrise in the background, and this is what it generated. They don't seem bad to me. Let's say I like this one. I would just save image as and save it as an image to your computer. Use a name that you'll remember. It usually will go into your downloads or your picture folder. Once you have that image, you can use it as you would like. If at any time when using this software, you notice an error or it fails or crashes, all you have to do is open in CoLab, run the script again, find that Gradio link, and then generate your images. There are a lot more advanced features. If, for example, you want to add a necklace or something like that, go into input image and do inpaint and outpaint. That function just lets you add or remove components to a certain image. Another thing to keep in mind is if you create too much detail or too much description for the image, it kind of works against you. Unlike the large language models that we've covered in other videos, adding too much can be a problem for the Stable Diffusion software, especially the free one. It only has so many images in its database, so it can only pair so much. If you get too specific, it's going to struggle merging all the images in its database together to create the ideal image for you. That's why I went with a simple prompt. I tend to find better results that way. If I get too specific, let's say I want a crown of thorns on it, I could likely get that on there and it would look fine. Lots of times you see in a crown of thorns, there is the crucifix. So you'll see Jesus's form in that, and it might add it together in some very interesting ways that probably aren't ideal. If you do something that's more specific, I would try to go all the way up to 8 images. You'll probably get more duds in there, but it does usually get 1 or 2. That about covers everything I have with the text to image prompt. Feel free to explore this tool, and if any new ones come out that we find that are particularly useful for churches like yourself, we will add those in.